Happy Monday, everybody. It's June the 8th, 2026. This is the Made in Paradise podcast. I'm your host, John Clark, along with my co-hosts, Anthony Ferguson and Darren Fingleton, which I'm getting good at saying. And today, we're going to talk about a big closeout deal like we always do at the end of the episode. But right now, we're going to talk about life. Anthony Ferguson, what are we talking about? What's the subject of the day?
Let me ask you this. Do you think human memory is reliable?
Well, no, that's a very interesting question because I was just watching a program about older people and their memory, and I was thinking about those very things. And we also have been discussing the Seth books, and in those books, and when I was reading this morning, Seth was talking about how our future is not set, and neither is our past, that our present changes our future, and that our past is never the same from the moment that we pass from it. So it starts changing the moment we get away from it. If you just think about how you remember the past, it does constantly evolve. So when you ask if it's reliable, sure, in some ways it's reliable, but I think that the further you get away from something, the less reliable that it is. I used to be able to quote the entire book of Philippians from memory. I can't anymore, right? But if you give me a little bit of help, I can quote some chunks of it. So it's still there, right? That memory is still there, but it's not complete like it once was.
So how good do you think your memory is right now?
I think my memory is exceptional compared to average. And for whatever reason, depending on how emotionally charged the situation is, I can remember intricate details about it, and you know that from my writing.
Right. So have you ever been completely sure of something and then discover you were wrong? Absolutely.
You bet. And I've gone back through memories with people, for example, that I said, what do you remember happened here? What do you remember happened in this? What do you remember happened in this? And being, again, investigative as a writer and investigating Bobbini Caroli and things that went on with him and listening to people's memories. And they said, well, this is this and this is this. And you just understand that everyone is in their own reality, viewing everything through their own lens. Everyone has a different memory capacity, and the way they remember things is different. Darren brought this up in an episode recently about the way he remembers situations may be different than the way I remember situations. I think it'd probably be unique for everybody.
Right. So why do so many people remember certain things in the same way, but incorrectly?
Have you ever seen that movie? I don't know what it's called. Darren will help me. Intensamente is what it's called in Spanish. It's a Pixar movie.
I'm pretty sure I saw the movie with you another day.
I think you did too, but basically there's these cartoon characters and they're inside this little girl's head and they have all of her memories there, and one of them's like a little angry character and another one's more calm and one of them's a little bit larger.
We saw it's that. Inside Out.
Excuse me.
Inside Out. That's it. That's one of the best explanations, I think, of memories, in that we have certain things that in the moment affect us emotionally some way, like something someone says to us and we'll remember it our whole life, or something we said and remember it our whole life, and seemingly it's innocuous. It doesn't have any real meaning, but it's a thing that you remember, and you remember it your whole life, and then eventually you do end up seeing, oh, I see why that memory has been so vivid for me my entire life, because it was part of my soul's plan, my soul path, right?
Right. What would it take for you to question one of your most vivid memories?
It said, what would I take for me to question? And you broke up for a moment. What would it take for me to question?
Sorry. I mean, what would it take for you to question one of your most vivid memories?
It would take someone that I trust recalling it a different way. But I have noticed it with having friends that were in their 60s and 70s and began to enter into certain kinds of dementia, that if you're open to it, others help you to get the correct information. But other people, they get angry if you question them on something where they just don't remember, right? It's just a piece of their memory that may just be missing, and you question them on it, and then they get upset because, no, that's not right, but it's just missing there for them. So, but to question some strong memory from the past, you have to be someone who witnessed it that I trusted.
Right. So have you ever remembered an event differently from someone else who was present?
Yeah, I think I answered that before. I think we all witness everything differently.
But I mean, you have an example. I was with this person. We saw the thing.
Absolutely. That's most of my memories. Most of the time, I'm remembering more information than other people are.
So let me ask you this: do you believe in the Mandela effect?
I don't know what the Mandela effect is.
Oh, the Mandela effect is that for example, you're pretty sure that you saw something. Let's say, for example, Mickey Mouse, right? Just to make an example. You're pretty sure that
this is where like I'm pretty sure that I saw someone had died, and then all of a sudden I found out that they're alive.
Right.
Yeah, that's what the Mandela effect is. Yeah.
Right.
I've had that happen to me. So I've had that happen to me where I was very sure I had heard someone had died, and yet found out later that they were still alive. Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys had, bet $100, I'd have said, nope, they're dead. And then they turned out to be alive. I mean, think about how many celebrities we keep track of in our heads. How much real estate they own in our head for what? Right?
That's what I was just thinking about. Rock stars, celebrities, everybody that we go, wow, they're 80 years old and they're still playing. We thought they croaked a while ago.
Right.
Yeah, because I mean, in regard to the Mandela effect, it's like I said, for example, if you're pretty sure that you said like this Monopoly man, the man from the Monopoly.
You mean the person who created the Monopoly game?
No, like that. No, the image from the Monopoly, the man on top of the.
Yeah. Yeah.
We're pretty sure that he have what you call this that they use like
a spectacle.
Right. Most of the people, they're pretty sure that on the man have one of those, right? So in regard to the Mandela effect, that you say, I'm pretty sure that the man have one of those, and when you realize you don't have one of those,
he doesn't have one.
He doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, and this is like the thing about what Luke says was in Empire Strikes Back or what Darth Vader's line is about him being his father. Now they can always misquote it, you get it wrong. But so what? How does that affect my life in any way?
I want to ask you. So let's say, for example, do the Mandela effect reveal memory lapses or something more mysterious?
I don't care. I don't care. I don't because I don't see any value in it. Right? If I figure it out, what difference is it going to make in my life? Like if I believe already that each of us is in our own reality, and that our thoughts shape that reality that we're inside of, and that right now the three of us are having an intersection of the three of our realities.
But right? doesn't that tell you something about reality? For example, if probably there is a glitch in something, you could say, okay, I use my reality, my thoughts to create my reality. But if the Mandela effect is truth, there's not a signal that you can say, wait a minute, probably I'm just running this way, right?
Well, it completely, if it's true, it completely proves my theory true, right? Because you're experiencing something in your reality that I'm not experiencing in mine. But all of a sudden we're talking about it like an echo where I'm saying, yeah, I think that's true. And yet it's not, right? I mean, Seth is dealing with this in the Seth material right now, where the part of I'm in and reading and studying. Both things can be true at the same time because you're in two different realities. and you're just crossing over. But again, how does it really affect my life? Like, how does that information affect how I'm going to treat people?
So,
right?
Okay, so
what Gandhi said. Here's what Gandhi said.
Gandhi.
Maybe this will be part of the Mandela effect. Whatever action you're about to take, think about how it affects the poorest person on earth. Right?
Okay, so there you go. So this is my last question in regard to that. How can I trust my gut? So my gut say, do this. How can I trust it?
You're going to have to train it, and you're going to have to trust it and monitor it yourself. You're going to have to focus and focus and focus. For me, it's on my stomach. I focus on my stomach, and an answer pops up. And I've followed that advice and not followed that advice, and tried very hard to pay attention to how good that advice is. And the truth is it's very, very accurate for me, but I've practiced it for a long time because I know, get a hold of something. When you get a hold of something, you start wrestling. Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it that? And then by then you're gone. You're lost. It's harder to make that decision than it is right there in the moment.
Right.
Darren Fingleton, on this beautiful Monday, what do you got for us?
Well, actually, I was just researching on why do we say a gut feeling? And the first thing it popped up was because intuition isn't just in your head. It causes real physical sensation in your abdomen. I mean, I've always kind of never really thought of that, but it does make a lot of sense that, we have that actual feeling in our stomach where we say, is that true?
Well, you don't have any problem feeling when your heart gets broken. You say your heart's broken and you feel that pain from the evil woman, right, in your heart.
Right.
and you feel it here. You're like, well, what difference? I'm up here is where I'm thinking it, but I'm hurting down here. Why is I'm hurting?
Right. But I just thought, well, why the stomach? Why is it coming from the stomach? And so I had to research that. But
remember, Anthony, how I would tell you it hurt in my shoulders, right? Women hurt. Man, women hurt. That's the worst kind of hurt there is. Anyway. Yeah. All right, Darren, what else? Let's go on.
Well, I wanted to talk about, life kind of getting in the way, because it feels like a lot of things have been happening to us where we've had our schedule kind of messed up. Like, for example, today my electricity just went off within the last hour, and I had to run somewhere to get Wi-Fi, internet, to be able to have this call. Anthony had another issue earlier today. You had an issue last week. I had several issues last week with it. So I wanted to ask you, John, just be honest, because these are things that are constantly getting in our way. What's your first thought when something like that happens? When a plan is not going the way it should?
Just right to adjust. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you that this is in traffic. And I really judge people harshly when I'm riding with them in traffic and watch how they respond to the other people in traffic. Because I've tried to train myself that no matter what happens in traffic while I'm driving, I will have no emotional reaction whatsoever. So I'm constantly, and I've done that for years. So when you ask about these events that happen in Costa Rica, it's not meant to happen right now. Okay, it's later. All right.
Right. And here traffic
shift, adjust, change. Yes, you need to be able to change. Yeah. And you live in Costa Rica, you better be adaptable. You better be adaptable. Right, Anthony? Right. Anthony had a doctor's appointment, got there on time, 5:00 in the morning.
Right.
Got in, came out, 150 people in line.
Right. And the first thing the lady, just let me say this. Making line, once the lady come to an office, the first thing she all the remote control from the TV, put on the TV and put on the news. Bad thing. There's a guy being killed.
Start the programming, right? Start the programming. Start the negative programming, right? You just to sit there all day long. All right, Darren, what else you got?
Is there a difference between a person who adapts quickly when a plan falls apart versus someone that isn't? What separates these two kinds of people?
Complete and utter stability. I mean, you are who you are under pressure is my thought and my feeling my entire life. You put someone under pressure and you see how they are. If they're not in depression, you don't know. But it's like what I always say about you never know what someone's like until the shit really hits the fan. Right. Then you know when you have the problem.
Well, I was going to say there's people that try to plan for everything, and I have people in my family that, you know, when they have this itinerary, they're going on vacation, they're like, we're going to do this. And you get there and you're like, man, I am exhausted. I don't want to go on a 8-mile hike.
I want to do that. I don't want to do that. No. Now it's time for the hike. No. If you really want to see if people are your friends, go on vacation with them.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Because everybody's dirty laundry stinks after 3 days. That's it. Yeah. You find out 3 days in, you find out about it. And I've been on vacation with several people and never again.
All right, next question.
I've been on vacation with y'all.
Yeah, we have. We've been on a handful of vacations. So.
All right, I might go with y'all. I might go with y'all again. But you know, the other people I was thinking about, no way.
Right. I'm contemplating if it was us or not. Have you ever canceled or lost something that at the time felt devastating because plans have changed, but looking back on it, you now see that it was the best thing that could have happened?
All of it. Because the moments you regret one moment in the past, you have to regret the present. So for me, it's just that simple. If I look back and I regret and say, I wish that was different. Well, what else would have changed? I wouldn't be me in this moment, and I don't want to be anybody else. I want to keep all the wisdom I have right now, all the wisdom I've gained. I don't see anybody else and think, I wish I was like them. No.
Right. You know, we've talked a lot about, you know, our thoughts creating our reality. So when reality shows up like it is today and disrupts everything that we had planned, does that mean that our thoughts created this situation?
Yes, that's correct. And my mentor's favorite verse in the Bible was Romans 8:28. All things work together for good all things work together for good for those who are called to the Lord and according to his purpose, called by the Lord and according to his purpose. So that translates into called by I am according to the purpose of I am. So you know I am is you, right? All things work together for good for the purpose of I am is a shortened version of that verse. And so everything in your universe is working together to give you what you want. Everything in your reality.
Right. And it's weird how sometimes, for example, someone, they have this vision or they have this dream to become who knows what. And when life started to change things around them, they started to complain instead of being like aware of what the universe is trying to teach me or in which direction it's taking me, because I'm controlling my future with my thoughts, right? So for example, if I'm working at the supermarket, and I always have the dream to work with an American company, just to make an example. And then I finally lost my job. Then I'm start to regret that, right? And be sorry and start negative thoughts and all that. But wait, for you to get the opportunity to work with an American company, you need to leave this job. So
yeah, right. Right, you have to leave. Neville says that same thing, right? If you're trying to seriously change your life, there are going to be serious disruptions to your life that may make you very uncomfortable. We talk about that a lot off camera, right? Yeah. About situations with people where we just can't believe that their integrity is so lacking, right? Yep. It shocks us and can't believe. But when you find out that their integrity is lacking, you don't have to deal with them anymore. So you've avoided a future problem. The question is whether you can accurately ascertain their level of integrity. But anybody who lies to you will lie to everybody in their life. Anyone who lies, right? Yeah. Anyone who lies will steal, because lying is stealing the truth. It's the same energy it's a same energy, different frequency. Go ahead.
Only hurting people, you said, could hurt.
Only hurting people hurt other people. That's right. Only hurting people hurt other people. I heard the version of that from Dr. John Maxwell at a leadership conference in Atlanta. And he talked about you shake somebody's hand and they have a bad sore thumb, like an ingrown nail or something like that. You shake their hand hard and they recoil back, right? because they're already hurting, right? And I remembered that word picture in my mind of people that would recoil because their hand hurt in some way, but you didn't do anything wrong, right? But that was the first idea that he had introduced into that concept of this person gets upset because you shake their hand, but right, you just found them hurting. You didn't hurt them, you just found them hurting, and that's correct, right? If I'm not hurting in any way, emotionally, spiritually, physically, if I'm absolutely not hurting, I won't hurt you.
Right.
I won't try to take what's yours if I have enough of mine.
Right. Next question. Most people spend enormous amounts of energy trying to control the situation. Do you think that energy is ever well spent, or is it always wasted?
Never, because it's just worry. And what we worry about doesn't happen. We know that's true. Scientifically, we know it's true. It's just worry, the control of the situation. Do what you should do to be prudent. Have car insurance. You bet, right? This country especially, car insurance, full coverage insurance. That's good, right? But don't worry about anybody hitting the car. No. Am I prudent with my car? Yes. Right?
Yep.
Do I park next to someone who has a $500 car? No, don't do that.
Nope.
I'm
I've learned many times.
So, yeah.
It's funny because I was in Guadacaste, and I just bought, you remember my Suzuki Grand Vitara? I just got it, and I took the trip up there, and I was riding around, and I parked at a Maxi Pali. I was going in for a drink. And as soon as I got to my car, this guy pulls up, and this older lady just parked way too close, and they opened up the door and smack it right into my window. And she didn't realize that I was in the car or anything. And I rolled down the window and I said, "Hey," and she's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry. Perdóname."
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
Walked away. Right.
I need a finger. I need a finger. Right. This is not free. Can't hit my car.
Right. All right. Last question. If you go back and tell your younger self one thing about how to handle life not going according to plan, what would that be?
Bobbin Caroli. I always get that there's a guy, God, on Facebook, right? He always asks those questions. You know, like, if you could go back and tell your younger self only one sentence, what would it be? Bobbin Caroli. Because if you just follow what he said, he don't have any books, there's no religion, there's none of that. If you just follow what he said, if everyone followed what he said, we would be living in heaven on earth. Because he said the same things. He said things that Jesus said that nobody wants to listen to, which is love your neighbor as yourself. And then love the Lord your God, who is I am, with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. So love your higher self as yourself and love your neighbor as yourself. So just love everything and everybody as if it's yourself. And then we're good and no one will hurt anyone. And then we'll have heaven on earth.
I think people would have to learn to love themselves first before they can love others.
That's right. You can only love someone else at the level at which you love yourself. That's it. Yeah.
But society.
All right.
Right before we go to deals, let me ask you this in regard to Darren question. What do you think in our society today? People loving themselves or no?
No, of course not. No. They don't love. No, they don't. First of all, let's get to love. We're talking about unconditional love, and what do they unconditionally love? Nothing. In general, nothing. There's nothing that they love unconditionally and say, "I love this no matter what." No, I don't see a lot of that. No. And the phone makes it. And the phone makes it worse. The technology makes it worse. It's constantly separating everybody one from another.
Right.
We talk about the value of face-to-face interaction, but just people interaction, people are not having, right?
Right. And here, close to my town, there was these visitors that they had a 3-year kid that drowned in a pool because they was on the phone. So you realize how people really love to be in the phone and not even taking care of
in the car having accidents after all these years and all the evidence, and they still another accident, texting while driving. And it's unbelievable to me. It's unconscionable to me, right? If you have an emergency, pull over.
Yep.
So simple. If you're not, there's nothing else to text about.
I've even told people on the phone here, I'm driving. You can't. Traffic's crazy. Right. I can't see.
The truth is sometimes if I'm in heavy traffic in the middle of San Jose, I don't want to talk on the speakerphone. I certainly don't want to talk about anything where I have to really think about it and make a decision. No, just wait. Have some patience. Wait. But the phone takes the patience away too, because the constant doom scroll is a dopamine hit, and you get desensitized. So it takes more and more and more to get the same amount of dopamine.
Yep.
Right. It's like a drug addiction. Right.
Right. Like Darren and I, we had experience in Panama. I don't want to mention the guy's name, but we was heading to Colón from Panama City, right? And this guy was driving full speed, right?
Yeah.
And he
full speed
with the phone and looking at the phone.
Well, then you should have stopped that in 2 seconds. And you knew if you'd told me about it, I'd have chewed the both of you out. He'd have stopped the car. How long with me in it? I stop the Uber driver. I'll stop the bus driver. I'll stop anyone for bad. You should not. You shouldn't even have that story to tell. I think you did tell me that story, as a matter of fact. And then I think I kind of recall now that I did chew you out about it before and said,
I don't recall telling you, but I do recall that scenario.
You do recall me chewing you out about it? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't recall, but I do recall the story that Anthony's trying to explain, because that was just blanked out of my mind. But yeah, wow. That was heated. Driving through Panama City.
No, I mean, I cannot tell you the number of times I've told an Uber driver in Costa Rica, you're following too close, and made him mad, right? One time this guy, I told him 3 times, right? He's just riding, he just ride up the brakes right up on somebody's bumper, and he'd ride up the brakes on someone's bumper. And the 3rd time he did it, I screamed as loud as I could. I mean, blood, and y'all know how I can scream. I screamed one of those blood curdling screams, and it made him mad. What did you do that for? I said, told you twice. Do it again, I'll scream again. He stopped. I gave him 1 star.
Yeah.
All right. Are we ready? Can we do deals now? Or are we ready? Wait till tomorrow?
Christmas.
Hey, everybody. This has been the Made in Paradise podcast. It's sponsored by Premium Performer, which is the 3 guys you're looking at right here. We sell big closeout deals. If you got a closeout problem you want to talk about, need somebody's shoulder to cry on, want to know what your stuff's worth, our contact information is down below. You can reach out to us by telephone, by WhatsApp, by email. We'll get right back to you and talk to you about your situation free of charge. Our deal of the day today is the Mama Shop. Now, the Mama Shop has gone out of business, unfortunately, and left behind 147,000 pieces of mostly maternity bras with a few leggings thrown in. 147,000 pieces. Consider it mostly maternity bras. The artificial intelligence tells us that this stuff costs somewhere between $3 and change to $4 to have it manufactured and landed in the United States. Your cost $1. $1, all brand new, all in poly bag from the Mama Shop. We have a full manifest. Information down below. Just reach out to us. We're happy to send you this manifest. We got pictures of it in the pallets. 147,000 pieces, mostly maternity bras from the Mama Shop. $1 each. For my co-hosts, Darren Fingleton and Anthony Ferguson, this has been Made in Paradise. We're here every week, Monday through Friday. Please like and subscribe. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye, guys.